Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy, and I am back yet again with another video. I hope that you guys are doing well. It is January 2nd, 2022, you guys. Can you believe it? Just a second, you guys. I'm going to give some folks some time to come in the room or whoever comes in. It is a Sunday. I know usually people are just kind of chilling and relaxing on Sundays, so all right, so let me see. But yes, I hope that you guys had a good day today. And let me just see. Hey guys, I'm live. Be sure to tune in. All right. So yeah, hopefully you guys set some intentions and set some goals and have some aspirations and things. 2022. I know myself, I did. So yes, you guys, I'm excited. So today I do have a topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and please feel free to chime in with any feedback on what you guys think, anything that you guys want to add in. But if this is you guys' first time watching, my name is Joy, and I am a narcissist abuse coach. I myself have been dealing with narcissists for quite a while, unfortunately. But that has been my journey. Been dealing with narcissists since 2010. Well, really 2006, because that's when I started living with my aunt. But I say 2010 because that's when I actually came in contact with the male narc. So, but yeah, so 2010. And then since going into contact with both my aunt and the male narc, I've been narc free and been helping people understand, gain clarity and knowledge about dealing with on and how to recover. So that's basically my story and how I got started. So today, you guys, I do want to talk about, since it is the new year, right? Good intentions, good vibes. So I wanted to talk about healing and moving on from narcissistic abuse and doing the inner work. And I did just want to let you guys know, in February, starting next month, 2022, I am going to be offering group coaching. So if any of you guys are interested in that, leave a comment underneath this video, or you can send me an email at livenarcfree9@gmail.com. And I also will be posting in a community board topics that you guys want to talk about in the group coaching. I do have an idea of what we can discuss, but I really want to help you guys, and that's what this channel is all about, right? So, but I do feel like, the group coaching is good because, we get that support, we're there for one another, and, it's good to get that guidance, especially after dealing with such a traumatic experience. It just basically lets you know that you're not alone. There's other people dealing with the same situation, and we can all, learn from one another, heal, gain awareness, and move on and heal and all that good stuff, and get the life that we deserve. So, but anyway, you guys, as I said, I wanted to talk about healing and moving on from narc abuse and doing the inner work. Healing and moving on is definitely not an easy thing, especially if you've been, emotionally, psychologically, verbally, mentally abused by another person. It's very difficult to understand, especially dealing with a narcissist, because a lot of times you don't get closure. And also, you guys, this may not just be a romantic partner. This could actually be a parent. This could be a friend. This could also be coworkers or a boss or whatever. Let's say you put in a lot of work at a particular job, and you find out that your boss or a coworker is a narc. And so you have to do some inner healing work. You have to move on from it. But what I would just say, though, as far as the healing and moving on, is just really take your time. Understand that the healing definitely does not happen overnight. Definitely do reach out for support. People that have dealt with narcissistic abuse, they can kind of help you understand what happened and how to navigate, live your life again. The other aspect is definitely educating yourself, definitely reading a lot of books, about self-love, self-care. And as I mentioned, you guys, I am going to be purchasing, there's actually several books that I wanted to let you guys know about. One is called Recovering from Narcissistic Abuse. no, I'm sorry. I think it was Recovering from CPTSD. My apologies. And it's actually a workbook. And it kind of helps you, especially for those of us that struggle with PTSD or CPTSD, which is a symptom of, being abused or being a victim of narcissistic abuse, right? And then also, I think to please, I will definitely keep you guys posted on these books, but reading again books about CPTSD, codependencies, self-esteem, loving yourself, knowing your worth, knowing your value, building better boundaries. But some of the books that I've read thus far is actually quite a lot, quite a bit. And I know I started my journey back in 2014 after I did go no contact with the Narc. But some of my favorite books was You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hayes. Think and Grow Rich was a really good one. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because that did kind of help with my mindset and my mentality. You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hayes. The Four Agreements is really good. A New Earth. I think it was the Power of a Positive Mind. One of those. Oh, The Power of Now also is really, really good. Really helped me change my mindset. I think it was You Can Live Your Dreams by Les Brown. I don't know if I said that or not, but that's actually a really good book. But there was actually many more. The Fifth Agreement. I think, wait, is it The Fifth Agreement? Oh, I'm sorry. The 50th Law by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. A really highly recommended book to read. It actually looks like a Bible. I don't know if any of you guys read it or not, but it's really good. But it definitely did help me on my journey for sure. Also reading books about trauma bonding, because a lot of us, we do deal with that. Cognitive dissonance is something that a lot of us, we experience. So definitely understanding, what exactly it is that you're struggling with, and, doing your research, educating yourself, whether it was low self-esteem or whether it was codependence or not feeling worthy of yourself, just kind of working through that every day and understanding what your triggers are, so that way you can work through that. I actually have courses that help, with moving on from narc abuse and building those better boundaries and how to break those patterns to help stop you from re-attracting narcissists. And you guys can actually check those out. That's available on my website. So that's that. And then the other thing is, and I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but journaling, writing out how you feel, especially let's say you got discarded, or let's say you had to leave the narcissist. Write out how you're feeling each time. If you have to write a letter to yourself or write a letter to the narcissist. Now, if you write a letter to the narcissist, please don't send it to them because it's not going to do anything. They're only going to use it against you. But, just getting out all of your emotions and your feelings, so that way you can let it go, you can release it, and all that stuff. And doing mirror work, talking to yourself in the mirror, saying, I'm sorry, I love you, I forgive you. I know that I hurt you and I'm never going to hurt you again. Please forgive me. Say, I'm sorry, Joy, or I love you, Joy, or, whatever your name is. Talk to yourself in the mirror every day, pray, meditate. You know what I mean? And be around people that are of good company. And even if you can't be around people, especially because, with COVID going on, try to find support groups or people that have similar interests as yourself. Maybe that can be of help. You know what I mean? And, go back into the activities that you did before you met your narcissist, because a lot of times the narcissist can get us away from our things that we actually enjoy, like our hobbies and our goals and our passions. They actually get us so focused on them that we forget about our responsibilities. We forget about things that made us happy and things that made us, just excited about, and I know that actually did happen to me. So I think one of the and recover was diving deep into my life again, focusing on myself, because a narcissist gets us focused on them, right? And Callum, hi. You said, I always fear your ex-girlfriend returning to hurt me. I blocked her off TikTok, but she was still able to see what's going on there for some reason. Oh, wow. You fear her? You shouldn't fear her. You should only fear God. But that does make sense. Callum, why you say that? Because, you know, you love that person, you love them, you know, and you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they hurt you. They already kind of showed you their true colors. So now you're like, I already see right through you. I'm seeing your intentions. I already know how you are. Excuse me. Sorry about that, you guys. But yeah, they'll still find a way to get back to you. Yeah, and it's crazy, right? You're like, wow, I blocked you. You know, I'm kind of like letting you know, like, hey, I don't want anything to do with you, and you're still coming back, you know. So yeah, narcissists, that's the other thing, is they don't take no for an answer, and they'll never leave you alone. And they're always going to try to hoover you. They're always watching you, right? And they just want to see what you're up to, and they want to see if they do reach out to you, like, so if they do the hoover, if they can get some sort of reaction, because that's what narcissists are after: your emotions. They're after your supply, which is you, you know. They're after you. They feed off of us, right? They're like energy vampires. So it's pretty sad, right? It's crazy. But yeah, and understand, during your healing process, you are going to relapse, right, during this time, because the narcissist may find a way to reach out to you, you know, get in contact with you again, because again, they don't give us that closure. They don't give us, you know, an explanation for why they treated us so bad, or why they, you know, lied to us, or cheated on us, or betrayed our trust, or left us for someone else and discarded us as if we meant nothing. They don't give us any explanations. So like, our minds is racing, because we're trying to, it's ruminating the other thing, and we don't know why a person would do this. Like, in our brain, it doesn't register, you know what I mean? And so what could help, you know, another thing that can help is, you know, getting in control of your thoughts, which is why I recommend the meditation, because that can kind of help calm down those racing thoughts. And then the other thing is what I learned in yoga, which I recommend, you know, if you have never done yoga, I highly, highly recommend it after dealing with a narcissist, is you can have the thoughts come into your mind, but don't attach to those thoughts. Don't believe that thought is actually true, if that makes sense. Like, you know, you get some certain thoughts, and I think I read this from the one book called the Power of Now. It talks about how you can treat thoughts as clouds just go by like that, and you could treat a thought like that. They're just thoughts that's just going by, just slow motion, you know what I mean? And you don't have to get so emotionally involved with that, because really what it is that our mind and our thoughts, we can make it real. You know, like sometimes we have a thought and it's like we can attach to it, and then other times we're like, oh, that's just my mind just playing tricks on me, you know, because I always was taught that, you know, your mind could either be your best friend or it could be your worst enemy, and that's really up to you. You know what I mean? So it's really up to us to try to get a hold of our mind. Like, you know, it's crazy. I watched this other guy on YouTube. His name is Jake Ducey, and he says that, right, we're all programmed. So instead of being programmed in a negative way, in a way where the world and the society will dictate how we live our lives, we actually have to reprogram ourselves. And you know what's funny is that the narc that I was talking to when I was dating, he actually kind of got me into NLP. And I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that. And I also recommend reading that book too. But it was like the neural linguistic program. So you can actually like, and it's kind of crazy. Like, some people use it for good, some people use it for bad, but it's like you can kind of program yourself and others to think and do and behave in a certain way. I know that's crazy, right? But check that out. I don't know if you guys are familiar with NLP, but yeah, but for some odd reason, like the narc that I was dating, like he had all these books in his apartment, like this big bookshelf, and like all these books, and he knew about all that type of stuff. So he was really good at what he did, you know? And a lot of narcissists are very, very good at manipulating people. Like, they've been doing this stuff for years. So like, you know, and I think narcissists are actually they're pretty smart people. And then you have the other ones are kind of like, but they know what they're doing. So don't think for any minute that, they don't know what they're doing, that they don't know that they're hurting you or they feel bad for what they did. No, they don't feel bad at all. They know exactly what they're doing. And thank y'all for that like. And if you want, and how, for those of you that are in the room, if you have healed, what worked for you? Or if you're still working on it, what are some things that you guys are trying? Right. I love to hear you guys' feedback. So yeah. But yeah, that's what I would say as far as moving on. And then, especially this year, for me, myself, I'm all about just going forward, moving on from the past, and just living life, free of any baggage, free of any, toxicity, you know what I mean? And it's not easy to move on, especially like if you deal with a narcissist. It's not, because you have those memories, you remember the love bombing stage, you remember the good times, and you want that back, you know what I mean? And especially like if they're contacting you, they're hoovering you, they're finding a way to reach out to you in some way, you're just like, well, they must really love me, or they must really like me if they're going out of their way to reach out to me, especially like if I blocked them, like they're just, they must really be interested. But no, they just want that supply. They just want that reaction. And you have to understand that as well. And moving on from the narcissist is literally the best thing that you can do, because you'll realize, like, because for me, like I knew that, or I felt like my life was a lot easier. There was no stress. I didn't feel like I was walking on eggshells anymore. I didn't feel like I had to be somebody that I wasn't. I didn't have to impress them anymore or do things to make them happy. I wasn't being gaslighted. I wasn't getting the silent treatment. I wasn't being stonewalled. I wasn't being triangulated with other people. I didn't feel like I was in a competition anymore, and it just, I felt freer. But at the same time, it's so crazy because, a lot of us were used to the toxic, dysfunctional relationships, or it could be family situation. And sometimes we may miss that. It's crazy, right? So, and that's the other dynamic that's probably going on, because a lot of us, since we grew up in an unhealthy household, maybe we kind of seek that out, or maybe the narcissist they was attractive to us, right? It's something that like kind of drew us to that person, because it's like that reminded us of home. Or if you had a decent household, maybe then it could just be a lesson that you have to learn, So Gary, hey, you said my narcs attempt at an apology. Hey, I felt that I was a bit harsh on you. Sorry about that. Like super lame and weak. Yeah, it's lame. Yeah, they don't mean their apologies at all. Like it's not genuine. It's not heartfelt. Like you won't believe it, And I know, again, the same thing for me. When I last had contact with my aunt, and I was basically telling her like how certain things that she has. And she basically tells me, I'm sorry you feel that way. And I'm just like, okay, that was not genuine. I didn't feel like you were really, really sorry for what you did. I felt like you meant it. And if you had a chance, you would do it again, So, yeah, narcissists are very dangerous. So that's why I always say, you have to really protect yourself from these people, right? And it's so crazy because when I've been doing research, I've actually found out that my aunt, she was actually a somatic narcissist. And those somatic narcissists, they like really care about their looks and all that stuff. And it's crazy because she would always compare her looks to me. And she would always care like how she looked out to the public, like to the outside, That's pretty interesting. So anyway, but yes, you guys, and as far as doing the inner work, now I kind of did touch on a little bit already. It's kind of like intertwined as far as the healing, because the healing, is sometimes we have to grieve this person. We may have to cry, or we may have to be angry, or sometimes we may go through a depression when we're healing. And it's normal. But one of the things that I will say is that you don't want to stay there for too long. Like, yeah, I would say give yourself some time to, do the pity party and be down on yourself, but you don't want to stay there. That's the thing, if that makes sense. Because I know I went through that too. So just giving you guys a heads up. But as far as the inner work though, that taking an evaluation of everything that happened and seeing, why the narcissist was so attracted to you, working through how to not attract another narcissist again, and working through that self-esteem, working through that codependencies, working through that CPTSD, and, just writing yourself a letter to your inner child, right? Maybe because your inner child has been hurt, and maybe the narcissist reminded you of your mom, or maybe the narcissist reminded you of your dad or an aunt or uncle or whatever, and so doing that inner healing, which means being your own parent now, and the other part of the inner work is, the positive affirmations, again, saying, positive affirmations to yourself, whether it's in the mirror, whether it's out loud. I love myself. I value myself. I'm sorry that I hurt you. I forgive you. Will you please forgive me? Just look at yourself in the mirror. You know what I mean? And tell yourself these things, right? Or you can write it down on a piece of paper too. Same thing. So yeah. And Gary, you said, right, they love those gym selfies. Yeah, it's crazy. Like my aunt, like she was, again, a somatic narcissist, and she was all about the looks, and not just the physical, but just how things looked out on the outside too. Like she was just obsessed, like everything. And I remember she had ended up getting plastic surgery on herself because I guess she felt like she looked old or something. I don't know. And she ended up doing it, and yeah, it was just a whole big thing. But yeah, she was definitely a somatic narcissist. And it's funny, my mom actually lives in a different state than me. And I think my mom said that she went out somewhere and she seen the narcissist's husband out and about. And I was thinking like, that's weird. And I just hope that my mom didn't say anything to, he was my uncle, my aunt's husband. He was my uncle through marriage. But yeah, hopefully nothing weird was said. But I haven't been in contact with my aunt, you guys, since 2015. So I have no clue what she's doing. Really, I mean, I don't have any bitterness or anything. At first I was still kind of like angry at her for everything happening. But I realized like all of that stuff, her doing what she did to me, it kind of led me to where I'm at today, if that makes sense. So it's like, if she would have never did that, I wouldn't be like on this video talking to you guys. So like, that's one of the things that I've learned, going into the new year and really beyond, is like understanding that, everything in our life really does happen for a reason. And if you can take the good out of it, that's great. And also get the lesson as well. So that way you don't repeat it, of course. But yeah, that was just, but yes, you guys, I'm hoping that these tips are helpful as far as the healing and moving on. And the other thing I would say too, though, is try not to go out there and be in a rush to date again, because I know a lot of us could feel like, oh, we don't want to be alone, and I don't want to be by myself, or I want to get back out there and date. Or I'm sure you guys heard of that quote that says, in order to get over someone, you have to get underneath someone. Please don't do that. Don't do that, because that's not going to work. You're only going to transfer your baggage and your hurt and your pain onto another person. And that's not, because that's only going to bring you back karma. So you don't want that to happen. So don't be in a hurry today. Give yourself time to heal and recover, because it's needed. And honestly, really and truly, guys, what I've learned is that being by yourself actually does make you stronger, because you realize at the end of the day, you really don't need anyone or anything outside of yourself besides God. God is number one, right? And then you have yourself. And then everybody else on the outside, that's just an addition to you. And then the other thing is, that can help with the healing and moving on is, again, diving deep into your hobbies, your passions, and things that can make you excited about life. And then if you don't know what that is, that means you just have to try things. You have to explore, and you have to maybe even travel, or just, you have to be like a kid again. You have to explore that inner child, and if that inner child is hurt, then you have to parent that you have to parent that inner child, so that way that inner child knows that it's okay, and he or she is not going to get hurt anymore. And then you kind of have to raise that child up again, build that child's confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, and value up again, so that way you can go towards your life purpose or whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, right? And Gary, you said always remember. Yes. Excuse me. All right, Gary. Well, I'll see you next time. But yes, you guys, I hope that this is a good video for you all, especially going into the new year. Like I said, myself, this new year, I'm just focused on, helping you guys and just being a better version of myself. So that way it can help and inspire somebody else out there watching, because again, you guys, dealing with narcissistic abuse was not easy. And it's not easy for anybody to go through. It's difficult. And sometimes it can actually kind of take you out. I'm not going to lie. Like, some folks, this type of abuse has taken some people out. It has. But if you're watching this, thank God it hasn't taken you out. So that's awesome. And understand that it will get better, right? It will. And another thing that I could recommend as far as moving on, I know I mentioned yoga, but just doing, just getting out, exercising, and all that good stuff, moving your body, working your body out is really, really healing and helpful. And yeah, so that's basically all I have, you guys. That's all that I wanted to say. I hope that this was helpful as far as, healing and moving on. And another thing that I will say, and I've said it before, is that don't rush your healing, because you want to make sure that, there's still a part of you that's never going to be the same again after dealing with a narcissist, because a part of you is scarred, a part of you has died, right? You're no longer going to be the same person ever again. But you just want to make sure you give yourself enough time that all those emotions, all those feelings, all that grief, you want to make sure that you can get that all out of your system before, getting back out there and dating again. Just give yourself time. Give yourself, maybe, let's say you want to give yourself 6 months. Maybe you say you want to give yourself a year, 2 years. And the longer you're with the narcissist, the longer it is going to take for you to heal, but that's okay. That's okay. You're worth it. You deserve it. And you're important. You matter. You're special. You know what I mean? So that's all I have, you guys. I hope that you like this video. Hopefully this can give you guys some encouragement and some empowerment to help you, get onto that road to recovery, to healing and moving on. And as I said, don't feel like, if you left the narcissist that you made a mistake, because again, the narcissist is not going to change. There's nothing that you can do, or there's nothing that you could have did that would have made the outcome be different, right? Because a lot of us, we may feel like, oh, well, if I would have did, or if I would have said this, or if I would have held back, or maybe if I shouldn't have spoke up. No, it would have still happened the same way, because a narcissist treats everybody the same. Right? Because let's say you may see them with another person, another supply, another victim, really. You may see that and you're just like, wow, like, are they better than me? Like, what did I do wrong? Or let's say if they're not even with anybody, let's just say you guys are no longer together, and maybe you could feel some sort of regret. You could feel some sort of remorse, like, man, like, I shouldn't have did that. But trust me, the outcome, it would have been the same either way. So, just be gentle with yourself, be kind. The other thing I want to mention too, as far as healing and recovery, is get close to your creator, get close to your God, and ask God to help you to, really understand what happened and understand, how to move forward with your life, and help you to have peace and, peace of mind, comfort. Ask God to comfort you and to be there with you during this time, because that's what I did too. Another thing, I was kind of angry with God during that period of time back in 2014, because it was a lot that was going on. But when you get close to God, he will reveal himself to you, and you will understand that this was a part of your journey, part of your life's journey, and this was supposed to happen. Unfortunately, it was painful, but it's going to make you a better and a stronger version of yourself if you allow it to. Because, and I always say allow, because sometimes when things like this happen to people, some people allow it to make them like the narcissist. So they become a narcissist, or they just become very bitter and resentful. Or it's on the flip side where they become, a person like myself, or they just become more empathic, or, they're very sensitive and they understand what happened, and they know okay, I'm supposed to be, this isn't like some sort of life purpose, or this is like my job to help other people overcome this type of situation. You know what I mean? That makes sense. But anyway, you guys, I hope that these tips were helpful. Hopefully this can kind of help you guys, start the 2022, have a good start off, a good send off, and, work through it each day. Understand, again, you're not alone. It's going to be okay. Don't try this by yourself. Don't try to feel like, oh, I can heal on my own, or I could move on my own. Because, some folks can, but then, they have a relapse, or they may get into another relationship with a narcissist, and, so definitely. So anyway, you guys, give this video a like if you liked it, you think it can help someone or bless someone. Share it with somebody. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And as I said, you guys, starting February, I am going to be doing the group coaching. So if any of you guys are interested in that, go ahead and leave a comment below, or you can send me an email at livenarcfree9@gmail.com, and I will give you guys the details on that. And more than likely, it will be via Zoom, and we'll just be in there just talking through about healing and moving on from the narcissist, and sharing our stories, and just getting that support and guidance and advice from each other, a collective healing, as a group. So yes, you guys, I love you so much. Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Love you so much. Bye, guys. I will see you.